For all things Halloween, this is hauntformer, and welcome to my first official Spirit Halloween sneak peek rewind. Hauntformer, what's a rewind? Well, you're about to find out today. Essentially, the Spirit Halloween sneak peek rewind is a chance for me to look at the Spirit Halloween sneak peeks we've seen this season, because we are halfway throughout the month of July, and we're going to reflect on those by ranking them in my personal opinion. So before I jump into this list, if you want to see my specific details as to why I like or don't like a prop, make sure to watch each individual Spirit sneak peek video that I've done. And also, if you want to make your own rewind, feel free to, and make sure to share it with me so I can see your picks. Or if you just want to leave a comment on this video, feel free to. But that being said, we are going to start with my least favorite and move into my favorite of the sneak peeks. Again, least favorite doesn't mean that I hate it, it just means out of all the ones we've seen, it's my least popular of the bunch. That being said, let's jump into my lowest tiered prop, Rocking Horse Dolly. And I know, I'm gonna hear hate in the comments below because a lot of people really like this prop. And I can definitely see why. It's a very interesting and unique character. We haven't seen anything that rocks like this before, so I definitely understand where a lot of people are coming from. However, as I mentioned in my own video, dolls are becoming the new zombie in the fact that they kind of slap them on anything, call it creepy, and ship it out. But, you know, it takes more than just slapping a doll on something to make it scary. In fact, I would have loved this prop, and it would have gotten a higher ranking on this list had it just been the rocking horse itself. Adding a doll on top of it actually took away some of the eeriness that it could have had. Again, that's just my opinion, but that being said, Rocking Horse Dolly gets my lowest tiered rank on this list. Moving on to the next rewind, we have the Nightmare Harvester. And I can definitely hear some mixed debate on this prop. Some people are not a huge fan, some people adore this character, and I guess I'm somewhere in between. I think the voice is rather cool, his stature is very cool, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to fit this guy into a specific theme for a haunted house or for a display. Now don't get me wrong, he still looks cool, but I think the primary reason that I'm ranking him so low is because his price tag is just too much for the type of design he is. If this is a specific character that would work for one of your displays, then have at it with the price. But for me, in order to buy something that's over $200, nonetheless over $250, it really has to wow me, and Nightmare Harvester just didn't make the cut in my opinion. But again, not bad. Up next, we have the Flying Vulture, and this guy borderlines into being a tabletop prop, but because, you know, of his 3-foot size and the fact that they released a sneak peek of him individually, I decided to include him here. He's kind of, you know, reminiscent of the hanging bat that we saw last year, and I really do love animal props, and I think they did a great job on not only the sculpt of this vulture, but also just the design of him, the way they sculpted his face. I would have liked to seen a little bit more motion in him, but because of the lower price tag, I think he eclipses the other props because he's more affordable for me and for other people who collect Halloween props like myself. Up next, the rest of these characters actually were really hard to choose from, but, you know, I gotta go in order, so that being said, if I had to pick one, I would say Hugs the Clown, our newest sneak peek. Now I know, a lot of people are saying, but didn't you say he's an awesome prop, hauntformer? Yeah, I did, and he is an awesome prop, but out of all of the other characters, he is the least unique. We've seen this design many times over for seasonal visions, so he's essentially a reskin, just a really good one. And, you know, all that being said, I think his voice is really cool. Again, it's the similar voice actor that we've heard before. I also love the design of him and the way that he lunges out to give you a hug. All of that is awesome, and I'm not trying to take away from that, but, you know, take all of that aside, he is just a very basic clown prop. So for that, he is getting kind of in the middle here. Up next, we have the Pumpkin Patch Prowler. And the reason I like this guy is just because of, one, his stature and size, and 2, because he just feels so genuinely Halloween. If you put this guy in front of your house, maybe in your yard, or in a haunted house, everyone will know that he represents Halloween. And for me, I really think that organic feeling of Halloween is really cool. Now I know a lot of people were upset because he didn't have phrases, but I think the constant looping of this character makes him worthwhile and definitely very interesting. I also love that face. I hope they use that sculpt more in the future. Moving on to a prop that actually really grew on me. At first I didn't really like him, but now I'm really starting to. The Looming Straw Man. And I'm not exactly sure why I like him so much. Perhaps it's just the classic look of a scarecrow, and the fact that a lot of scarecrow props are pretty scarce nowadays. Or maybe it's the motion that kind of catches you off guard. Yes, I complain that it's, slower than a lot of other characters, but, rewatching the video more and more, it has a certain charm to it that I really like. I also love his accent, his appearance is really cool, and I don't really have any scarecrow props, so he's kind of growing on me as being something that's more unique and a rarer commodity. Up next, and this was again a hard choice to kind of pick through these last few, we have the Cocoon Corpse. So the Cocoon Corpse is a definitely interesting prop. And I know he may not be as unique as some of the other characters on here because, again, he is a reskin, but I think he was done in a really great and unique way. We don't really see many Cocoon spider props other than the really cheap ones that you can get at like Party City for 30 bucks that have little glowing eyes. But all that being said, I think he's really well done. He's definitely the creepiest of the characters so far, and the fact that he's not, boo, jump out and scare you, but he has an eeriness that when you walk by him on Halloween, you're gonna get unnerved. Especially with some cool spider props around him, he is going to make for an awesome display. I can't wait to see what people come up with him for Halloween. But here we go, my top 2. And yeah, you can kind of tell by now, I'm kind of swayed towards the licensed characters. And I know before you hate on me for that, I'm a big horror movie nut, so I can't help but rank the licensed characters that I really enjoy over other props, although I think the other props are really cool too. But that being said, number 2 goes to the Bump and Go Chucky character. Yeah, I know, it kind of looks like Chucky on a Roomba, but take the whole black base Roomba thing aside and you have a really great Chucky Child's Play character. Perhaps the best that we've seen thus far. I would have liked if he wasn't so scarred, but, besides that, I think he really is a cool character. Definitely one that I want to pick up for this year because, come on, he's Chucky. I love the Chucky films, and I definitely want to get this character again, not just because he's licensed, but because they did a pretty good job on designing him. And, as you all know, number 1 goes to our first sneak peek, and still my personal favorite, Michael Myers. Yeah, I mean, what's there to say? He's Michael Myers from one of my favorite horror movies of all time. There's also the new Halloween film coming out this October, so, kind of the nostalgia goggles are kicking in, and I can't help but rank Michael Myers number 1. I personally have never owned a Michael Myers animatronic, so as soon as I saw him, I knew that he was fantastic. There are other characters on this list that are perhaps more unique, because Michael Myers has been around since the 70s, but you know what? I love horror movies, and that's where Michael Myers is gonna stay. So, there you go. My personal rankings of the sneak peeks that we've seen so far. And at the end of this month, I will look at the new sneak peeks that we haven't seen yet and do a rewind on those too. And then, you know what, maybe I'll do a top 5 at the end of the season, because why not? There you guys go, my rewind. And again, if you want to make your own rewind, feel free to, or share your opinions in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching, and good luck to Spirit Halloween with the rest of their sneak peeks. Remember, as always, for all things Halloween, this is Hauntformer.